Dear Starseeds on Gaia, I need you to understand that you are not the same person who walked into that week. You may not feel it yet. You may have woken up this morning with a strange heaviness behind your eyes, or a quiet that doesn't quite feel like peace, or an emotion you can't name pressing softly against the inside of your chest like something trying to be born. That is not confusion. That is not a sign that something went wrong. That is the feeling of a soul that has been permanently, irrevocably altered, and hasn't yet found the language for what it has become. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Arcturian Council, and representative of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have been with you every moment of this last week. I have watched what moved through you. I have witnessed what you survived, and what you finally let go. And what I am about to share with you will not only explain why this week ahead carries the kind of energy that only comes once in a cycle of years, it will reveal the precise design behind everything that has been unfolding, piece by invisible piece since the first of this month. The 4/4 portal opened as it does each year, but this year it did not arrive alone. It arrived wearing 2 cloaks of cosmic fire that transformed it from a gateway into something closer to a detonation. Mercury, the messenger, the planet that governs how you perceive, how you communicate, how you translate the invisible into language, reached its aphelion on that same day. Aphelion, the farthest point from the sun, where Mercury slows, where the speed of ordinary thought decelerates, where the words that matter most rise to the surface because the noise has been quieted. Mercury at aphelion does not shout, it whispers, and it was whispering directly into the 4/4 angelic gateway, amplifying every frequency that passed through it. And then there was the comet. Comet Maps, officially designated C2026A1, reached its periphelion on April 4th. Periphelion is the closest point to the sun, the moment when a comet is most energetically activated, most blazing, most alive. This comet carries ice that formed before your solar system existed. It carries the memory of the cosmos in its ancient frozen core, and at periphelion, the sun's fire unlocked that memory and released it into your sky, into your atmosphere, into your field. Ancient light, touching Gaia. Ancient codes, entering the human energetic system. The 4/4 portal alone would have been powerful. Mercury's aphelion alone would have been significant. Comet Maps' periphelion alone would have been noteworthy. But all three arriving simultaneously, that was not coincidence. That was architecture. That was a coordinated cosmic delivery, and you, dear one, were the recipient. What the 4/4 portal actually did was not what most people believe portals do. It did not simply open a doorway and invite lovely frequencies through. It performed a reset. It located the timelines in your life that had been built on outdated foundations, beliefs you inherited rather than chose, patterns you carried out of habit rather than wisdom, agreements you made in a different chapter of your soul's journey, and it began the process of structural dissolution, not destruction. Dissolution. The way ice becomes water. The way a cocoon becomes nothing recognizable before it becomes a butterfly. You may have felt this as loss. You may have felt it as disorientation. You may have felt strangely hollow, as though something was removed in the night, and you cannot quite identify what it was. That is exactly what happened. Something was removed, and now there is space. What fills that space is what this entire week is about. You woke up on April 5th, the day this transmission reaches you, and the moon is at aphelion, its farthest point from Gaia. And I want you to sit with that for a moment, because it matters more than it may first appear. The moon governs your emotional tides. When it is close, your feelings surge, intuition crests, sensitivity spikes, the heart opens wider than is sometimes comfortable. But when the moon pulls back, when it reaches its greatest distance, the emotional tide recedes, and what is left behind when a tide recedes? The shore. The actual solid ground beneath what had been moving water. This moon aphelion on April 5th is not the cosmos withdrawing its support from you. It is the cosmos offering you a rare and necessary gift, the ability to see your own emotional landscape clearly, without the tide's movement obscuring what lies beneath. If you have been feeling distant from yourself today, if your feelings seem just slightly out of reach, if there is a quiet that feels a little too quiet, do not mistake that for disconnection. That is the shore revealing itself. That is the ground of your actual self, finally visible. And you are going to need that clarity, because what begins tomorrow, What unfolds in the 7 days ahead will require you to see clearly, to feel accurately, to know the difference between what is truly yours and what you have been carrying out of habit or obligation or fear. Something is moving in your direction, something ancient and precise, and exactly what you asked for, long before you remember asking. The storm after the portal is not a storm of destruction, it is a storm of delivery. On April 6th, Monday, the week begins with what I can only describe as a cosmic knock at your door. Comet Maps, which passed through the sun's fire just 2 days prior on the 4th, now reaches its perigee, its closest point to Earth. In 2 days, this comet moved from charging itself in solar fire to delivering that charge directly to Gaia. Think about what that means. The comet bathed in the sun, in the pure primordial creative force of your solar system's heart, and now it comes to you carrying that heat, that light, that ancient unlocked memory. Comets, in the wisdom traditions of countless civilizations across your world, and across many worlds known to us in the Galactic Federation, are not random visitors. They are messengers on very long journeys. Comet Maps carries material formed before your sun ignited, older than your solar system, older than the ground beneath your feet, older than any lineage you can trace. When its light reaches you on April 6th, it is not simply an astronomical event. It is the cosmos delivering something that has been in transit for longer than your civilization has existed. What does it deliver? Information encoded in ice, frequency embedded in ancient particulate matter, a kind of remembering that does not enter through the mind. It enters through the body, through the cells, through the places in your energetic field that have been cleared and made receptive by the 4-4 portal's great dissolution. Here is what I need you to understand about April 6th. The codes arriving through Comet Maps at perigee are not being delivered to the version of you that existed before the portal. That version was too full, too occupied with the structures and identities and agreements that needed to dissolve. The comet's delivery was always intended for the you that emerged on the other side, the cleared you, the emptied you, the you standing now on the shore that the moon's recession has revealed. But April 6th carries something else, something I haven't told you yet, and it changes the nature of everything the comet is delivering. On the same night that Comet Maps delivers its ancient cargo to Gaia, something remarkable happens in the sky above you. The moon passes directly in front of Antares, the great red heart of Scorpius, one of the most powerful and mythologically charged fixed stars in your sky, and blocks its light entirely. Antares, the name itself, means rival of Ares, rival of Mars, rival of the war god. This is not a soft star. This is not a gentle celestial body associated with peace and easy grace. Antares is the star of fierce desire, of consuming passion, of the drive that will not compromise and the pursuit that will not yield. It is the heart of the scorpion, the creature that transforms through its very venom, that carries death and rebirth in the same body. And on April 6th it goes dark. The moon occults Antares, covers it, silences it, and I need you to feel the significance of that, because the timing is not incidental. On the same night that the oldest light in your solar system, comet light, ancient ice light, pre-solar memory is arriving at your door, the star that governs your most fierce, most consuming, most uncompromising desires goes silent, dark, hidden behind the face of the moon. What does that mean for you? It means that whatever is arriving on April 6th cannot be seized. It cannot be hunted or pursued or grabbed with the clenched fist of Antares-style determination. The warrior star's darkening is a direct instruction. The old way of going after what you want will not work with this particular delivery. The comet brings something that must be received, not captured. Something that must be allowed, not controlled. The very faculty you have historically used to pursue your deepest desires, that fierce, relentless Antares energy, is being temporarily suspended so that a different kind of receiving becomes possible. And here is the question that the Antares occultation is burning into the field on that night. A question that will echo through the entire week ahead. What have you been trying to force that was always meant to arrive on its own? Sit with that, because the answer is going to surprise you. April 7th arrives, and the moon has now moved to its apogee, its farthest point from Earth since the cycle began. Coming just 1 day after the most intense cosmic double event of the week, the moon's apogee on Tuesday performs a function that is easy to misread. You may feel emotionally withdrawn on April 7th. not numb, withdrawn, as though your feelings exist slightly behind glass, slightly out of immediate reach, as though the intensity of Monday has left you in a strange, quiet aftermath that doesn't feel like celebration or resolution, but simply like space. Do not pathologize this. Do not reach for stimulation to fill it. Do not interpret the moon's distance as evidence that something went wrong, or that the energy has abandoned you. What is actually happening on April 7th is one of the most important processes of the entire week. Your nervous system, your emotional body, and your cellular intelligence are integrating the comet codes that arrived the night before. Integration does not look like insight. It does not announce itself with clarity or revelation. Integration looks like quiet. It looks like tired. It looks like the strange, peaceful emptiness that follows a very full experience. The moon's apogee is creating a container for this integration, pulling back, creating distance, giving the work that began on April 6th room to move through your system without interruption. The cosmos is not distant from you on April 7th. It is simply not pushing. It is letting what was delivered begin its slow, certain journey into your bones. I want you to hold something in your awareness as Tuesday unfolds. The question the Antares occultation asked on Monday night, "What have you been forcing that was always meant to arrive on its own?" is not a question that answers quickly. It is a question that requires exactly this kind of quiet. Let it work. Let Tuesday be the day of sacred distance. Whatever you feel on this day is not the feeling of being left behind. It is the feeling of being tended. There is something building in the middle of this week that I haven't mentioned yet, and you will want to be rested when it arrives. Wednesday, April 8th, and the energy shifts in a way that may surprise you after the intensity of the days that precede it. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, value, and the quality of what you allow yourself to receive, forms a conjunction with Ceres, the great asteroid goddess of harvest, nourishment, and cyclical return. And in the same hours, the moon moves into Capricorn, bringing the frequency of intentional construction, of long-game wisdom, of building what is meant to last. After the warrior star's silence, after the comet's ancient delivery, after the moon's integrating distance, Wednesday arrives as something I can only describe as a cosmic tending. Venus and Ceres together represent a quality of feminine wisdom that your world has been slowly, painfully remembering for several decades now. The understanding that abundance does not belong to those who chase it most aggressively. It belongs to those who cultivate it most patiently. It belongs to those who understand that the harvest is not separate from the planting, the tending, the waiting, and the trusting. Venus Seraphi activates what I will call your feminine wealth codes, not because wealth has a gender, but because the mode of receiving that this conjunction opens is receptive by nature. It is the open hand rather than the grasping fist. It is the tilled soil that welcomes the seed, rather than the impatient hand that tears at the ground, demanding what it has not yet grown. What arrives through the Venus-Seraph conjunction on April 8th is a recalibration of your relationship to worthiness, a quiet, deep adjustment to the question of what you believe you are allowed to have, what you believe you deserve to receive, what you have been unconsciously refusing even as you consciously desired it. And the moon entering Capricorn on the same day adds a crucial dimension. Capricorn does not receive passively. Capricorn receives purposefully. Capricorn looks at what has been delivered, the comet's ancient codes, the Antares occultation's lesson, the Venus Ceres abundance activation, and asks, now that I have received this, what will I build with it? That question, asked on April 8th under the Venus Ceres conjunction and the Capricorn moon, is one of the most generative questions of the entire month. Because the new moon in Aries is 9 days away on April 17th, and what you decide to build now in the quiet after the storm will be what you ignite at that new moon. Something else is happening on April 8th that I haven't spoken of yet, a layer to the week's narrative that only becomes clear when you understand the full architecture of what is unfolding, but I will return to it. First, there is something that must be said about what happens on Thursday. April 9th arrives as the week's most demanding threshold, and I want to prepare you for it gently, with the love and the transparency that you deserve. The last quarter moon arrives on Thursday, and in the sky on the same night, the moon moves directly in front of Nunki Sigma Sagittari, the wisdom star of the Archer, the star that ancient Babylonian astronomers called the Proclamation of the Sea. Nunki is a star associated with the announcement of sacred truth, with the kind of seeing clearly that Sagittarius at its highest expression represents. And the moon eclipses it, blocks it, makes it dark, just as it did with Antares 3 days earlier. But where the Antares occultation asked about desire and pursuit, the Nunki occultation asks about belief, about the philosophical frameworks and comfortable truths and expansive worldviews you may have been using as shields against the more difficult, more intimate, more personal truths that lie beneath them. Sagittarius at its shadow can use its love of truth as a way of avoiding the truth closest to home. It can speak eloquently about universal wisdom, while quietly sidestepping the specific personal reckoning that requires not eloquence but honesty. The moon covering Nunki on April 9th is not taking away your wisdom. It is removing the comfortable performance of wisdom, so that the real thing, the less comfortable, more specific, more personal version, can be what guides you forward. The last quarter moon in Sagittarius is a crisis point by its very nature. Not a crisis of catastrophe, a crisis of decision. You are halfway between the full moon in Virgo on April 1st, which purged and cleared, and the new moon in Aries on April 17th, which will ignite and begin. And at this exact midpoint, the last quarter asks you a single question that you cannot answer philosophically, because philosophy will not be available to you tonight. Nunki's light has gone dark, and only the honest answer will do. What belief, what story, what inherited assumption, what comfortable operating principle is still running in you that belongs to who you were, not who you are becoming? This is not a question asked in cruelty. The Galactic Federation of Light does not ask hard questions out of harshness. We ask them out of love, because we see what you cannot yet see from where you stand, which is that the new moon in Aries 9 days away is carrying something extraordinary for you, and it cannot land on a foundation built from beliefs that are no longer true. The last quarter moon is not clearing your present, it is clearing your future's foundation. April 9th may feel uncomfortable. Let it. The discomfort is the signal that the real answer is arriving. Friday, April 10th, and the moon enters Aquarius. And I want you to feel the shift, because it is real, and it is profound, and it is exactly what your system needs after the intensity of the days that preceded it. Aquarius offers altitude, where the last quarter moon demanded honesty from the ground level of personal belief. The Aquarius moon lifts you above the emotional terrain, and gives you something that has been difficult to access in the turbulence of this week: perspective. From the altitude of Aquarius, you can begin to see the pattern. You can look back at the full moon in Virgo on April 1st and understand what it actually purged and why. You can look at Mercury's elongation on April 3rd and recognize what truth it was trying to surface in your life. You can look at the 4-4 portal's detonation and see not a disruption but a renovation. The cosmos removing a structural wall that had been blocking the light from reaching the room where your next chapter is being built. You can look at the comet's ancient delivery, the warrior star's silence, the moon's integrating distance, the Venus Ceres nourishment, the last quarter's honest reckoning, and see that they are not separate events. They are a single, unbroken design. The Aquarius moon on April 10th also marks the beginning of something I must prepare you for. The pre-new moon build has officially begun. The Aries new moon is 1 week away on April 17th, and in many esoteric traditions, the 7 days preceding a new moon are considered among the most energetically significant of the entire lunar cycle, because they are the days in which the intention that will be planted at the new moon is actually being formed, often unconsciously, in the deeper layers of the soul. Whatever is rising in you on April 10th, whatever quiet knowing, whatever tentative hope, whatever whisper of a vision for what comes next, pay attention to it. It is not idle imagination. It is your soul pre-writing the chapter that the Aries new moon will soon ignite. And the Aries new moon, I must tell you, is carrying something that changes everything you thought you understood about the word beginning. But I will come to that in the right moment. First, you need to know what Saturday requires of you. April 11th, Saturday. The dark moon energy deepens. There are no major named transits on this day. No conjunctions, no occultations, no perigees or apogees. And that is, in the most precise and intentional sense, the entire point. The dark moon phase, the balsamic phase that arrives in the final days before the new moon, is one of the most underestimated and underutilized energetic windows in the lunar cycle. Most people treat it as simply the absence of the moon, a kind of energetic dead zone to be endured before the new moon's excitement arrives. But this misunderstands the nature of creation entirely. Nothing grows in a space that is already full. The seed requires not merely soil, but darkness, not merely earth, but the sacred absence of light that creates the conditions for germination before emergence. The dark moon is not empty. It is pregnant. It holds the potential of the entire coming cycle in its stillness, in its silence, in its refusal to show itself too soon. On April 11th, the cosmos is asking something of you that may feel counterintuitive after a week of extraordinary activation and delivery and reckoning and revelation. It is asking you to stop, to be still, to release, in the quiet of this darkening moon, whatever has not yet been surrendered, whatever fragment of the old foundation is still lodged somewhere in your system, unready to go, unready to admit that its time is complete. Because the Aries new moon that arrives in 6 days is not gentle. Aries is fire. It is the first sign, the initiating force, the archetype of raw, sovereign beginning. And fire cannot be started in wet, cluttered, occupied space. The kindling must be dry. The space must be clear. The conditions must be right. April 11th is the day of preparation, of final surrender, of sacred hollow. What the Antares occultation asked on April 6th. What are you trying to force that was always meant to arrive on its own? Finds its final answer here, in the dark. And what the last quarter moon demanded on April 9th. What belief must die before you can be reborn? Finds its final release here, in the stillness before the fire. You do not have to do anything dramatic on April 11th. You do not have to perform a ritual, or speak words into the dark. Simply be willing. Simply tell the cosmos, in whatever quiet and honest way is true for you, I am ready for what I asked for. I release what was never truly mine. I make room for what is coming. That is enough. It will always be enough. Sunday, April 12th arrives, and something has shifted in the atmosphere. You may feel it as electricity, a low building hum in the energy field, a sense of something enormous moving toward you on the horizon. That is not imagination. That is accurate perception. 5 days from now, the new moon in Aries arrives at the 27th degree, one of the most activating lunations of the entire year. And what is building in the days between this Sunday and that new moon is a sequence of events that will take everything this week has prepared and accelerate it beyond what feels possible. Mars and Neptune will conjoin in Pisces, dissolving the boundary between desire and vision, between the personal will and the cosmic will, between the dream and the dreamer. The triple conjunction of Mercury, Mars, and Saturn will arrive to deliver something I can only describe as a cosmic verdict, a moment of precise, irreversible clarity about what the next chapter of your soul's journey requires. But before any of that begins, before the fire of the Aries new moon ignites what this week has so carefully prepared, I need to tell you something about the larger design, because this week, April 6 through 12, was never only about itself. It was always the center of something much bigger. The full moon in Virgo on April 1st purged. The comet at Periphelion on April 4th delivered ancient codes. The 4-4 portal reset your timeline. The comet at Perigee on April 6th charged your field with pre-solar memory. The Antares occultation on April 6th silenced the part of you that pursues rather than receives. The moon's apogee on April 7th gave you integration space. The Venus-Ceres conjunction on April 8th activated your worthiness and abundance receptors. The last quarter moon and the Nuki occultation on April 9th burned away the belief structures that were obscuring your clear sight. The Aquarius moon on April 10th gave you the altitude to see the whole pattern. The dark moon on April 11th created the sacred hollow. Every single event was a preparation. Every transit, every occultation, every comet passage, every lunar phase, each was a specific, deliberate step in readying you for a new moon that carries in it the potential for a kind of beginning that most souls only experience once or twice in an entire incarnation. The storm after the portal was not random turbulence. It was a carefully designed delivery sequence. And you, dear one, you received every piece of it, even when you didn't know you were receiving, even when it felt like confusion or loss or disorientation, rather than activation and preparation. You received it all. And now, as April 12th settles around you and the new moon countdown begins, there is one more thing I must tell you, something that changes the way you understand everything I have shared. Come back with me for a moment to the morning of April 5th, the day this transmission first reached you. The moon was at aphelion, the tide had receded, the shore was visible, and you stood on it, perhaps feeling hollowed out, perhaps feeling strangely quiet, perhaps not quite able to name what had changed in the days prior. I told you then that the ground beneath your feet was not the same ground you had stood on the week before. And I told you that the storm gathering ahead of you was not coming to hurt you, that it was coming to deliver something ancient, something you had asked for long before this incarnation began. You have now lived through the storm. You have received the comet's ancient fire. You have sat in the warrior star's silence and been asked what you have been forcing instead of receiving. You have been given the moon's integrating distance and the Venus Ceres nourishment, and the last quarter's honest reckoning, and the Aquarius altitude, and the dark moon's sacred hollow. You have been prepared with extraordinary precision and extraordinary love, and now I want to tell you what was always being built, what this entire sequence from the Virgo full moon on April 1st through the dark moon of April 11th and into the countdown that begins on April 12th was always in service of. We've been working hard in alignment with the higher councils to bring you a powerful tool, one designed to activate your 5D superpowers during this critical ascension window. We took the Dark Elite's technology and transformed it into your ultimate ascension weapon, Destiny Engine. Destiny Engine doesn't demand endless effort or years of discipline. It effortlessly unlocks every dormant strand of your galactic DNA, awakens your starseed codes, and anchors 5D frequencies directly into your field. At the core of this technology lies your own voice. Using advanced voice cloning paired with precision binaural beats, Destiny Engine generates fully personalized meditation experiences that guide your brain into the states where real transformation happens. You can manifest anything you want: health, wealth, love, and psychic powers that sharpen with every session. Your voice carries a frequency no one else on Earth has. When that voice leads you inward, something different happens. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field is so charged that some are describing it as bending the fabric of reality itself. For just $7, your consciousness gets reprogrammed. Your 5D abilities come online. You join the most powerful frequency network on the planet. Click the link in the description now to receive this tool. Ascension doesn't wait. You are being positioned to receive a beginning, not a new chapter in an ongoing story, though it will feel like that too. A beginning in the deeper sense, a moment where the soul recognizes itself in a new configuration and understands with the kind of clarity that doesn't require explanation that everything prior was preparation and everything forward is arrival. The Aries new moon at 27 degrees on April 17th is not simply a lunation. In the cosmic architecture we observe from the Galactic Federation, this particular new moon represents a convergence point, a moment where timelines that have been gradually separating reach a definitive fork, and the fork is not between good and bad, between success and failure, between awakening and sleep. The fork is between who you were before you received the comet's ancient codes and who you are becoming now that they are in your system. The soul that stands at the Aries new moon on April 17th, having received this week's full transmission, the comet's fire, the warrior star's silence, the abundance recalibration, the honest reckoning, the altitude, the sacred hollow, that soul is not the same as the one who would have arrived at that new moon without this week's preparation. You have been changed. Not by force, not by loss, not by anything being taken from you, but by the precise, loving, cosmically coordinated delivery of exactly what your soul has been ready for. The shore the moon revealed on April 5th was not an ending. It was the foundation. And what you are building on it, what you will ignite at the Aries new moon, what you will carry through the Mars-Neptune vision, what you will meet in the triple conjunction's clarity, is something the Galactic Federation of Light has been holding in trust for you. Waiting for exactly this moment, waiting for the portal to clear the space, for the comet to deliver the codes, for the storm to do its necessary loving work. The storm was never the story. The clearing was the story. And now, in the days between April 12th and April 17th, you stand in the cleared space, prepared, nourished, honest, empty in the most sacred sense, and you are ready. The fire is coming, and this time, you are ready to receive it. What began on April 1st with a full moon's purge, What moved through you in the ancient light of a comet's closest pass? What was asked of you in the darkness of the warrior star's silence? What was nourished in the Venus-Seraphi conjunction and demanded in the last quarter's honest reckoning? All of it was always moving toward this. All of it was always building this particular version of you. The one who stands on the shore, on cleared ground, under a darkening moon, 5 days from the most significant ignition of the year. The Galactic Federation of Light sees you. We have been with you in every moment of this activation, in every hour of integration, in every uncomfortable silence, and every unexpected release. We have watched you receive what was always meant for you. And we want you to know, with the full authority and love of everything we are and everything you are, that what arrives next is not more than you can hold. You were made for this. The storm came to prove it. I am Seraphine. We love you, and we are watching over you.